For years, every morning started the exact same way, with a deep breath and a silent question. How bad is the pain going to be today? That one question dictated everything, whether I could work, if I'd be able to meet a friend for coffee, if I could find even a moment of joy in my day. My world had become so small, confined by the four walls of my pain. I felt trapped inside my own body, completely defeated and just hopeless. There's a profound loneliness that comes with an invisible illness, that constant struggle of feeling like no one really gets what you're going through. If you've ever felt that way, if you've ever found yourself bargaining with your own body for just one good day, I want you to know that I see you. I've been there, and I'm here to tell you that your story doesn't have to end there. I want to share the secrets that didn't just help me cope, but help me truly and genuinely thrive again. These aren't magic pills or overnight cures. They're simple daily strategies that gave me my life back piece by piece. Section 1, the invisible battle. Before we get into the strategies, we have to talk about the battlefield itself. Chronic pain isn't just a physical thing. It's a thief. It steals your energy, your hobbies, your social life, and sometimes even your sense of who you are. It's all the canceled plans, the moments you have to sit on the sidelines, and the frustration of feeling like your own body has betrayed you. It's an exhaustion that goes bone deep, not from a lack of sleep, but from the constant draining hum of discomfort. Science is showing us more and more that chronic pain actually changes our nervous system. A good way to think about it is like a car alarm that's gotten way too sensitive. It starts blaring even when there's no real danger. An injury from years ago might be completely healed, but the brain has learned that pain pathway so well that it just keeps firing off those signals. It becomes a vicious cycle of stress, tension, and pain, with each one feeding the others. And here's why understanding that is a game changer. It tells us the pain is absolutely real, but it also shows us there are new ways to treat it that go beyond the original injury. It opens up the possibility of retraining our brain and calming our nervous system. And that's where our power is. What if you had more influence over this cycle than you've been led to believe? This isn't about fighting your body. It's about learning to work with it. It's about building a toolkit of daily strategies that can shift the balance from just surviving to actually thriving. For me, that realization, that shift in perspective, was when everything started to change. So let's get into that toolkit. Secret number 1, master your breath, master your pain. The first strategy is so simple that most people just dismiss it. I know I did. It's breathing. See, when you're in pain, your body is in a constant state of fight or flight. Your muscles are tense, your heart rate is up, and your nerves are on high alert. Deep, intentional breathing is the most direct way to switch off that alarm system and turn on your body's rest and digest response. This isn't about just taking a deep breath when you feel overwhelmed. It's about making it a daily practice. Here's how I started. Just 5 minutes, twice a day. I'd find a quiet spot, close my eyes, and practice what's called diaphragmatic breathing. You inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, feeling your belly expand. Hold it for 4, then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. That longer exhale is the key. It's what tells your nervous system that you're safe. I used to think this was nonsense. I mean, how could breathing help the searing pain in my back? But I committed to it. At first, it was hard. My mind would wander right back to the pain. But slowly, something shifted. It didn't make the pain disappear, but it did lower the volume. It created a little space between me and the sensation. For the first time in years, I felt a glimmer of control. This practice can reduce muscle tension, calm your nervous system, and even help your brain process pain signals differently. Secret number 2, the myth of just resting. When you hurt, your first instinct is to stop moving, to protect yourself. And while rest is definitely important, too much of it can become your enemy. It leads to weaker muscles, stiffness, and getting out of shape, which in the end just makes the pain worse. The secret isn't to push through the pain, but to find a whole new relationship with movement. The key is gentle, low-impact exercise. Think walking, swimming, gentle yoga, or Tai Chi. These activities get your blood flowing, increase your flexibility, and release endorphins, your body's own natural painkillers. The most important idea here is pacing. Don't go from 0 to 100. I learned the 3P rule: plan, prioritize, and pace. You start with maybe a third of what you think you can do. For me, that was a 5-minute walk down the street and back. That's it. Some days it felt like a marathon, but I did it. The next week, I aimed for 6 minutes. The goal is consistency, not intensity. By slowly and gently reintroducing movement, you teach your brain that it's safe to move again, and you gradually rebuild your strength and your confidence. Secret number 3, fueling your body for resilience. What you eat can either fuel inflammation or help fight it. Chronic pain is often tied to chronic inflammation, and your diet plays a huge part in that. Now, this isn't about some miserable, restrictive diet that makes you feel deprived. It's about slowly adding more of the good stuff in. Start thinking about bringing more anti-inflammatory foods into your meals. We're talking about things rich in omega-3s like salmon and walnuts, and colorful fruits and vegetables that are packed with antioxidants. Spices like turmeric and ginger are powerful anti-inflammatories too. I started with small, manageable changes. I swapped my sugary morning cereal for oatmeal with berries and a sprinkle of flaxseed. I started adding a handful of spinach to my eggs. Instead of reaching for a soda, I'd have water with some lemon and ginger. Over a few months, I noticed a real difference. My flare-ups weren't as frequent and my overall energy was better. You're building a body that's more resilient and less likely to be triggered by inflammation. I'm sharing what really worked for me, and if any of this is resonating with you, if you're finding it helpful, please take a second to hit that subscribe button. We're building a community of thrivers here, not just survivors, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. While you're at it, drop a comment below. What's the one thing you wish people truly understood about your life with chronic pain? Sharing our stories is how we break that feeling of isolation. Secret number 4, reclaim your joy. Chronic pain doesn't just hurt your body, it shrinks your world. The hobbies, passions, and social things that once brought you joy can start to feel like impossible hurdles. You stop doing the things you love, and a part of you disappears right along with them. Reclaiming that joy isn't a luxury, it's an essential part of thriving. The secret is to use meaningful activities as a form of positive distraction. Your brain can only focus on so many things at once. When you're deeply engaged in something you enjoy, you are actively pulling your focus away from the pain signals. This doesn't have to be some grand adventure. It just has to be something that absorbs you. For me, it was painting. I used to love it, but the pain had stolen it from me. The thought of sitting at an easel for hours was just too much. So I adapted. I bought a small, cheap watercolor set and a little pad of paper. I set a timer for just 10 minutes. I would sit and just play with the colors. It wasn't about creating a masterpiece. It was about the feeling of the brush in my hand, the way the colors bled into each other. For those 10 minutes, the pain was just background noise, not the main event. Find that for yourself. Maybe it's listening to an album all the way through, trying a new recipe, doing a puzzle, or learning 3 words in a new language. Start small and take back a piece of yourself that the pain has tried to steal. Secret number 5, build your support fortress. Living with chronic pain can be one of the most isolating experiences there is. It's so hard for people who haven't lived it to understand. That's why building a support system isn't just a nice to have, it's a non-negotiable part of your thriving toolkit. This fortress has 2 parts. The first is your personal circle, the friends and family you can be totally honest with, the people you can tell, today is a bad day and I just need to rest, without being afraid they'll judge you. The second part, and this was a total game changer for me, is professional and peer support. This could mean working with a therapist who specializes in chronic pain, maybe using techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy to help change your thought patterns around pain. It also means finding a support group, whether it's in person or online. I was terrified to join one. I thought it would just be a place to complain. But what I found was a community of people who just got it. I didn't have to explain myself or justify my pain. Being understood on that level by people who are also finding ways to live full lives was incredibly empowering. You're not a burden for asking for help. You're a warrior building your fortress. Remember that question I used to ask myself every single morning? How bad is the pain going to be today? I've replaced it with a new one. What can I do to thrive today? Some days thriving is just taking a shower and eating a good meal. Other days, it's that 5-minute walk or 10 minutes of painting. And on good days, it might be that coffee with a friend. The pain is still here. It's part of my story, but it's no longer the entire story. It doesn't get to hold the pen anymore. I do. These secrets, mastering your breath, moving with intention, fueling your body, reclaiming your joy, and building your fortress, they all work together. They create an upward spiral that slowly lifts you out of that despair. Your journey to thriving starts right now. It starts with one choice, one deep breath, one small step. You are so much more powerful than your pain. You are not broken, and you are not alone. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this was helpful, please consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear this message today. And don't forget to subscribe for more on reclaiming your life from chronic pain. I'll see you in the next one.